Camp Golf. I've committed a lot of war crimes at that place too against the NCR. There's so many people to XP farm. What can I say? And it's empty because, of course, I killed them all. Is what I told Ashley.
Hello and welcome to the Knights of Gab-A-Lot. I am Sir Benjamin.
And I am Sir Nick.
And we are here to gab your ears off over all things storytelling. And this episode, we are going into Fallout Season 2, Episode 3.
A profligate.
Side note, do you know what profligate means? I should have looked it up myself before starting.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Because
That's actually a good question. It's one of those words I assume I know what it means. Okay, profligate is an adjective or sometimes a noun that basically means recklessly wasteful or extravagantly immoral.
That is more hardcore than I was expecting.
So an example, he led a profligate lifestyle, spending money as if it grew on trees. So, okay, so that's... See, I thought profligate sounded more like something along the lines of an acolyte, but someone under servitude. I was totally off.
I guess because I'd heard it in other contexts outside of the the Legion with Fallout. I'd heard it in other areas, so I was like, okay, it has something to do. It's some kind of a degenerate. It was my my understanding.
That's
so
true.
Not far off.
It's a great word. Mm-hmm. It's a mouthful for me, though.
Do you have any beginning thoughts?
Yeah, we remember that guy in season 1 who got the arrow through his neck?
Mm-hmm.
We see him again.
Yep. Yes, we do.
And you know what? I loved how this opened up. Basically, so to set the scene, so his name is Thaddius.
Good you remembered his name, because I didn't remember it.
Yeah, no, I was... we pause so that way we can, because Amazon shows the different names. I'm like, I gotta make sure I got the name right. Thaddius. Basically, he runs a sweatshop that produces Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
And so you got a bunch of kids. Some of them are ghouls, some of them are just regular kids. And they're producing Sarsaparilla. Not really a whole lot to say on there. There was a great line at the very end of the scene, but I'll do that after, if you have anything to say about the first scene.
Yeah, I thought it was a kind of a funny scene. Like I'm not sure if they were necessarily. When I watched it, I thought that they were just using everything to create bottle caps because they're all taking the caps off and everything. So that's what I kind of got from it. So I don't know if they were actually creating the sarsaparilla or if they were just using the bottling machine to create the caps, because they're caps are legal tender and they can't be faked, so they have to look like actual caps. That was my take on it. I found it.
My impression was that they produce this stuff. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There was a quest in Fallout New Vegas where you have to investigate a bottling plant that is making counterfeit caps. So I thought this was like a bit of a reference to that, but whatever.
Maybe. Yeah, so there's this one kid that he's trying to comfort. She's a smoothie, as they say. One of the ghoul kids is upsetting her, saying that she looks weird. He's kind of comforting her or whatever, and then that turns into just talking to her, to talking to all of the kids and trying to get them to see the brighter side of life. And he says, "What do we always say?" And then they all say at the same time, "Most kids are dead by this age."
It is a great line.
I thought that was great. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. The only little thought I had was like, because where he has that line of like, "Hey, why aren't you working and making me money?" Writers tipping their hand again of capitalism bad. The only person who makes money is the guy on top, forgetting how exchange and all that works in a free market society. Yes, I know that's
Possibly.
a weird. I know that this doesn't necessarily apply here, but I don't know, maybe I'm just being overly maybe my hackles are just too sensitive, but
I think
it's just when the show
in this case.
Yeah, I mean, it's because like when the show is obviously having a very anti-capitalist bent, any kind of thing that it just sounds like another dig at anti-capitalism. But I'm probably just being you know
Yeah,
overly
maybe
sensitive.
I'm desensitized. Um, yeah, I don't get those tones too strongly. It might just be that I don't know why. I don't get those tones strongly, but maybe I'm not paying attention. It's definitely there. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's not there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I read the way he said that is more tongue in cheek,
Oh yeah, I could take that too. Either way, either way. Yeah,
but
it was fun. It was a funny line too. I did find it funny.
yeah,
I
it
it
was.
it was just my thing of like, okay, is that just meant to be a joke, or are the writers doing another capitalism evil dig?
They're definitely walking the line. It's going
Hmm.
to be more interesting once the communism plot lines start to converge a bit more down the
Hmm.
road
Yeah,
to see where that comes from. Because if it turns into a full blown communism bad,
you mean
capital or
the
yeah,
reverse?
communism good, capitalism bad, then um, I feel like the writers and the creators are going to be a bit more smart, knowing that that's not going to go over so well. But that said, we have seen shows absolutely crap the bed at some point. So the show could still do it. It hasn't so far, but
Yes.
it might.
Yeah. I mean, so far I have less issues with this season and its storytelling and certain things than the first season so far.
Oh, interesting. I thought the first season so far was much stronger.
I think there's just a few like major. Well, we can do a whole. We could probably do a
That's
discuss.
true.
Yeah. At the end of this, we'll
Let's
make a
do
note.
that.
Yeah, make a note of it.
Bookmark.
We'll yeah bookmark. We'll do it. We'll do an
Yep.
episode after where we discuss both seasons and comparison and whatnot. Anywho.
Yeah. No, fair enough. So we move from that scene to what I was absolutely looking forward to,
Hmm.
which was Caesar's Legion,
Oh yeah.
the camp, where they're bringing Lucy into the camp.
Kaisers.
And
Kaisar. We don't do soft C's. It's Kaisar.
I love that they brought that up
Yes.
because in the video game, I always kind of had that thought. And then Lucy's being Lucy, she's being charming and quirky and all that stuff, and I think it mostly works. We learn, we actually no. Before we get to the Caesar or the Kaisars, okay. So as she's being led into the camp, right? She sees the one of the soldiers has that mask with the
Hmm.
beard that almost looks like Davy Jones squiggly
Yeah.
things. And I immediately knew someone behind that mask is someone I know. I just know it. I just know it, right? Obviously, it doesn't take Sherlock to know that. I was not expecting who was behind that mask.
No, I was not expecting
Not
either.
at all. He takes the mask off, and Benjamin, who is it?
It is Macaulay Culkin.
That was perfect.
It's
That was perfect.
like I don't know who else like who else that is familiar enough to get the reaction of like I think if there was anybody else like well okay Robert Downey Jr. it would have been an eye roll honestly.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If they
But
picked something like that, or, you know, Henry Cavill would have been okay, but it would have been too serious. They picked
mhm,
somebody who, uh, you know what? I don't know why, but it being Macaulay Culkin for me was perfect.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I haven't watched like I've seen I know for people of our generation Home Alone is like the Christmas movie. Everyone loves it. I actually have not finished Home Alone. I had one. I watched it was at a youth group, no young adults thing, and I was. It just so happened to be one of those weeks where I was absolutely exhausted. I fell asleep halfway through the movie because not because it was boring, but just I was so tired, and I have not seen Home Alone. I have not the only Macaulay Culkin movie I've watched all the way through is Uncle Buck with John Candy.
I haven't seen Uncle Buck.
Good movie. Really,
You haven't. Don't change the subject, sir. You haven't. Did you? Have you seen Home Alone 2?
I've seen not no I've no
Oh my days, buddy! I don't even know what to say. Okay, well, fine. That's cool. There's a ton of stuff that I should have seen that you give me a hard time for.
hey
Okay.
but I still was like, oh, it's Macaulay. I mean, it's funny, like having not seen Home Alone. Like I've seen clips. I know bits of like the rough story and whatnot. And I've seen some of the clips and everything, so I know the significance of Macaulay Culkin's um yeah his significance to our generation. And
Yep.
I was already like, it's Macaulay Culkin. And then when he starts just, I don't know if it's okay. You know the term chewing the scenery? It's usually referring to overacting. I don't know. He played this role like so well. There was these moments I'm like, I don't know if this is chewing the scenery, but it feels like it is in a good way, where he's just like plays it serious, but it has just this humor to it. And I don't know what it is, like his delivery, like
Well,
he is like leaning
he
into the
did. I
bit.
don't think he overacted. I
No.
know what you mean. Some people, they'll play it too tongue in cheek, too
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yes.
he didn't do that at
No.
all.
No.
At all. In fact, he played someone very convincingly who has
Mm-hmm.
been so far and so long in Caesar's Legion that the things that Lucy was talking to him about, he looked legitimately baffled by, and the way that he reacted to that bafflement was almost like a mixture of curiosity immediately into dismissal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I loved that. I thought that was such a great
Mm-hmm.
approach.
Yeah.
Um,
It
because they didn't play it up for laughs. You could just see
no.
the math in his head. He goes, "Yeah, no," you know,
Yeah.
just like anybody who's brainwashed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And he even some of the moment, there were some of the moments like with what she would tell him. He had like this look of like, yeah, that brainwash thing with what with almost this look of like, oh, you poor uneducated child.
Yeah, and then he's talking with the Kaisar, and Lucy's getting impatient and interrupts, and he says, "Shh, we're discussing the terms of your prima nocta. If you've seen Braveheart, you know exactly what prima nocta is. It's first night." And she immediately starts to confess, "What? I'm not a virgin, at all. I've even done some cousin stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera." And they're just they're like, "Oh, well, that plan goes out the window." And then a few minutes later, she's hanging on a cross.
So good. So good.
Uh, And then throughout all of this too, we find out that there's an interesting situation with the Kaisar. So now they have two Caesars that are competing for supremacy, and I'm assuming that they both refer to the other as the false Kaisar,
Yes.
which is really great. So there's this kind of stalemate going on, and it was just what a great little setup. My only disappointment is that was not the focal point, but it couldn't be the focal point because the focal point was other things.
Yeah.
And it was just such a great setup. Um I just This isn't actually a knock on the episode. To me, this was the strongest episode of the entire season so far. I loved it.
Like, I mean, I thought it was hilarious, just the look of like how close their camps are together, and then the body of the dead Kaisar
Yeah.
with the note saying who his successor is just on this little is just sitting on this little hillock in between the camps, and the camps are like right like in spitting
Yeah.
distance. Like you could play ball throwing to each other. It's and like the guns that are pointed on the knoll are like it's like point blank range. It's so funny. Just
So the minute anybody goes to try to retrieve who his successor is from the corpse, they get killed.
Yeah. And they're just
So
they're so it's just they're just so ridiculously close. It's just hilarious to me.
to me, if I came across that in the New Vegas video game, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, now I just want them to release like a little DLC or just something with this scenario. But
Well, they are doing a remaster
mm,
of New Vegas, so maybe
okay.
some new DLC comes in. That'd be cool.
Then we get a little bit with the ghoul in the hospital cutting out
Yeah,
the poisoned bit from the stinger.
yeah.
I
I did
love.
not understand this part at all. Like I understood what was happening. I don't understand how it happened. So he's feeling gross from
Mhm.
all like the rad scorpion sting,
Yeah.
and he's like, ugh, ugh, he's just crawling everywhere. And then the dog shows up, and he's talking to the dog, and then he's talking to the dog, and I can't remember what he said, but I liked the scene.
Hmm.
But then he starts digging at the wound, and then he just pops out something like this little squib of um, poisoned flesh gob.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to eat it for a moment. I'm like, you're not going to eat that, are you? And he throws it away, and then he's fine.
Yeah.
Why? That didn't make any sense to me. Because if it's affecting every part of his body, that means it's flowed throughout his body.
Hmm.
So are you saying that the source of it is this one poison gob, and once that's gone, then it stops flowing through the system? I don't understand.
I think they were. I'm yeah. Like I agree. It doesn't make a lot of sense when keep the whole biology thing in mind. I wouldn't be surprised if what it was is so I've read accounts of something about people with a snake bite getting a knife and basically cutting away flesh and trying to get as much of the poison out by cutting away flesh and everything and trying to
Really?
get ahead of it. I read it in a book once. I don't know how truthful it is or if it's complete BS, but basically it was like kind of get ahead of the poison in a way kind of thing, and then using water to help thin the blood and draw it out. I don't know how factual it is. It was in I can't remember if it was a novel or something from my childhood. I read it somewhere, so I wouldn't be. I was just that's the only thing I can think of is that maybe they read something similar and tried to implement it in there, but I don't know.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
You degenerate, you profligate.
Short answer, no, and you absolutely should not try it. Hey, calm down. Calm down. It works great as a search engine.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Short answer, no, and you absolutely should not try it. Long answer, this is one of those sounds tough, works in movies, gets people killed in real life ideas. So
Okay. I will give,
profligate for using AI. This is the future, sir. This is the future.
and we're ducked. Oh no!
What?
In the mortal words of Bender, we're boned.
Oh yeah. I mean, we could. I don't know.
Yeah, let's not. That's a huge. That's all.
That's
That's
a
another.
whole other rabbit trail.
Yep, yep. I
Um,
love the look on the dog's face when he cuts it out and he kind of holds up that bit of flesh and the dog looks at it as if like, so what you can do with that?
is this the part where we eat it? Do we eat it now? No.
And
Yep. So Ghoul is fine, and then we get a flashback right after this to the past.
hmm
He's meeting with his old war buddy
hmm
at a not a war memorial.
It's a ceremony where he's being honored. Like his war buddy is the guy who's being honored, as if I remember
Yep,
correctly, for his service and whatnot.
yep,
He outstanding service or whatnot, and so that's the setup kind of thing. There's even a politician there.
yeah. She looks so happy to be there.
Yeah, it's those moments like when she said because she says, you've probably never heard of me because I'm the only congressperson who didn't accept corporate funding, so no money for paid advertisements and things like that. Like I was having this moment like, are you sure some of the reason you're not making a lot of headway is because people don't want to vote for you just because of your
You
delivery?
lack charisma.
Yeah, you lack charisma. I mean, I know that's a pretty shallow thing, but we humans are kind of stupid that way, that we vote for the most charismatic person, even if your platform is, even if you are the best candidate morally.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean,
So, but it's like,
charisma.
but like I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying like, but get a little bit more charisma here, honey.
Well, my thought was, okay, well, if you don't have the same corporate backing, then you need to make up for it, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
And then this is why the wage gap exists. So, anyway,
Oh, don't get me started on the of how the wage gap was.
no, I know
Okay,
how
good.
it,
Okay, I was like,
yeah,
oh, I
no,
hope.
no, it was a dig at the so-called wage gap thing. But before I get
Sorry.
myself into more trouble, so Charlie Whitehorse is Cooper's friend.
Mhm. Yes.
Cooper is the ghoul in a
Yeah.
previous life.
Hmm.
Um, and but before the politician gets up, he's chatting with Charlie Whitehorse and
Hmm.
Cooper. I can't remember who he was talking about, but was saying that one of their higher ups basically wants him to kill House.
Yeah.
Did I interpret that correctly?
I was getting that because he had met with Moldaver in the previous episode,
Yep.
and she was
Yep.
saying that like they're basically hinting. I also took it as you know, get rid of house or do
Yeah.
something, to him
Okay.
kind of thing. And that's the vibe I was getting as well.
And then he goes to the bathroom to take a leak, and who does he meet?
House.
Robert House, but he doesn't recognize him.
Hmm.
And they're chatting, they're having an uncomfortable conversation, and oh, I didn't write this down, but there was this great line. So he's pissing into the urinal, right? And
Hmm.
House is just talking his ear off about politics, and then Cooper finishes up, and then zips up and says, "Now see here, you made a mistake. You never talk politics when a man's got his dick in his hand."
I think. Oh yeah, and I think before it, because he was saying like, oh, I can tell you're a vet because basically because a vet wouldn't talk politics when a man has his dick in his hand. I think that was the
That's
line or
what it
something like
was. That's
that.
what it
Yeah,
was.
you're not
Yeah,
a vet.
a vet wouldn't talk. Yeah, thank you. That was a great line.
It was a really great line.
There's some banger lines in this show.
Yeah, there are.
They're good. And then that scene kind of ends. I always find that the Cooper flashbacks for me never feel like they are out of place.
Hmm.
I generally loathe flashbacks because they're used poorly.
Yes, they are
They
usually.
they take you out of they take you out of the interesting present moment into the boring past in order to info dump.
Yeah.
But this show doesn't do that with Cooper.
Hmm.
Every time it goes back, I'm actually very interested in who he was before he became the ghoul. I am
Yeah.
interested in the world before it was destroyed.
Hmm.
And for whatever that's worth, I think the show does flashbacks really well
Hmm.
85% of the time.
I would agree. There is enough of attention there to how would I put it? Okay, you know how sometimes in flashbacks there is something trying to be accomplished in the flashback that may or may not relate to the present thing,
Yep.
and some flashbacks it's like, okay, why should we care, or there's nothing actually here driving the plot in the flashback. It's just a flashback.
No.
But here there is something, and even though we know the end, that the world is going to get destroyed, we are still invested in his journey in the flashback of the
Yes.
person he was, even though in and which is also find interesting is the person he was is so very different from the person that he has become.
Yep.
We are really sucked into, okay, who is this guy? And when we
Yeah.
get little tidbits, I mean, we get a little bit more when there's another flashback to the vet, um, the veteran celebration. We get a little bit more of, we get a little taste more of who Cooper is, and
Hmm.
it's good. It's good
It
stuff.
is good. It is good. And one of the things that's working really well in the show's favor No, okay, I haven't played Fallout 76. I've played 3, 4, and New Vegas,
Mhm.
but mostly New Vegas. I played the crap out of New Vegas. And I don't remember in any of those if an answer was given to, who actually did set the nukes.
From what because I've also
There's
done,
rumors.
yeah, I've done some dives into lore videos for quite a like, even before the show. Like I was looking into, and it's it is left ambiguous.
Yeah,
It's never it's of who started it. It's throughout the all the lore videos I've been able to. It's the all the games, everything have left it ambiguous of who started it.
that works really well because, I mean, that introduces the one thing that we all need for a story, which is intrigue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Intrigue is what's needed. And you know what? Actually, that might be why I don't like most flashbacks. Either they're not intriguing or I do not care about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be a me problem. So take that with a grain of salt. Carry on, sir.
I didn't have much to add other than yeah the Brotherhood, and it's another meeting of the leaders from previous episode where they are because oh yeah they're talking about shoot forgot his name, the Xander or
Xander.
yeah
Xander Harkness,
yes
the
the
Commonwealth leader. Yeah.
yes the representative, yes, and now all the other other Brotherhood chapter representative leaders are all like, okay, full stop. I don't think we can go through with this. We don't want to have a war with the Commonwealth. You no longer have our support. We're done. And then Maximus suggesting like, hey, I could just kill him, and Quintus is just like, stupid, stupid. You're an idiot.
Yeah. He says something. When I say pretentious, it works really well for Quintus's character. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not a criticism of it. But he says, "Does the master ask the sword for wisdom or something like that?"
Yeah.
And I thought, that's a pretty good pretentious line. Very
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yes.
Basically gives him a tongue lashing, and
Mm-hmm.
then Maximus tries to ask again in a different way, and then basically just gets dismissed right out of hand.
Yeah.
You know, he's clearly gone from "you are my sword" to "you're a useful idiot. Now get out of here."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the only thing I would say that I would have liked to have got more of that transition, because the last time that we've seen him with Quintus, as far as their relationship together, is yep, we are solid. Their
Mm-hmm.
relationship is solid.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it is not.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't strike me as the kind of thing where it was just Quintus losing his temper
Yeah.
because of the way that Maximus responded to it. If this
Mm-hmm.
was just oh, you just lost your temper, well, we've all been chewed out by somebody that we deeply respect, and we go, they're having a bad day. So unless he's an absolute, I can't say that word, was I'm assuming that there was some tension that was not shown. I would have liked that
Mm-hmm.
to just to kind of earn that a bit more, because the show's trying to cover a lot more ground
Mm-hmm.
than season one.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it
And
is.
again, they're mostly doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I would say they are doing a good job. I'm just
Mhm.
apprehensive because of how many shows we've have come out in the last you know 5 years that have started strong and then completely wet the bed.
Well,
With the so I'm optimistic, but I'm still very apprehensive. But yeah, I've been liking what I've been seeing, and oh man, I'm really liking Maximus's journey and seeing who
yeah,
he is and everything. And yeah, it gets really interesting. I mean, like right after he leaves, he then runs into I forgive him forgetting his name.
Xander Harkness.
Xander, yeah, and
Yeah.
Xander's like, "Hey, man, come chill with me. Let's go hang out."
Which, by the way, just on the character of Harkness, he shows up at the end of the previous episode, episode two,
Hmm.
and I didn't have a whole lot to work with as far as um, whether or not I like his character.
Hmm.
I No offense to this actor, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I am not a fan. I am not a fan of this actor. Every single show that he is in, he takes me right out. The first time I saw him was in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which, by the way, that show is dog crap. If you haven't seen it, don't waste your time. But before the show was, I think it was like the first episode, before the show was kind of revealing itself to be just the pile of crap that it was, he shows up as like a hidden Jedi. And there's just something about him. He's just like, actually, what is he? Is he just a comedian or something? He was in, I think, the Marvels. No, not the Marvels.
The Eternals.
Thank you. Eternals,
Yeah.
Lego movies, stuff like that. So anyway,
Okay, so
I don't
so
know.
he
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm not into him. Yeah, I think actually, now that I think about it, I kind of have an issue with how all of the Brotherhood leaders are portrayed, other than Quintus. Quintus feels quintessentially, he feels like the quintessential leader in the Brotherhood.
hmm
Everybody else kind of feels like squabbling children.
yeah.
There's not even an attempt for any of them to seem like they are part of the Brotherhood of Steel.
hmm
I would say that there is at least an attempt for Harkness, but it doesn't work for me. I guess short way of saying for me, it didn't work.
I've been having the same thoughts, like, been going back over my memories of, in the games, working with the Brotherhood of Steel, and then doing some little lore, watching some lore videos and just different things about like who the Brotherhood should is supposed to be, how they're been represented and whatnot. And yeah, they seem, especially the other leaders, seem so less disciplined.
Yeah, they
Of like,
don't seem disciplined at all.
it comes across less as a, because essentially Brotherhood of Steel is a religious military order. It's not just a military thing. It's a religion. It's the
Correct.
knights. It's
Yeah,
the Knights Templar, pretty much, is
basically,
the
yeah.
closest equivalent. And all the other leaders, just the way it comes across more as a bunch of gun-toting militia guys
Yeah.
from the Midwest, Southern Midwest. That's what it more comes across. It's just a bunch of those. I mean, we've all seen them in fiction. The guys who may have had some military training or didn't, just watch a lot of military movies, got a bunch of guns, got their buddies all together, and now they've built a fort on their 600-acre plot of land, and now they're a militia and they're seceding from the rest of the US. We've seen that tons of times, and these guys come across as that, not an order with an actual rule of law and a codex and all that. But so it does bother me how they've been they're being portrayed here.
Yeah. It's definitely not enough to ruin things for me. I mean, I like the Brotherhood of Steel. Fortunately for me, they're not my favorite aspect of Fallout, but they are one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they do enough right. So that's at least good. Yeah, so Xander invites he's basically trying to convert Maximus over to his side.
Mm-hmm.
Um I would have liked for there to be better lead up as to why Xander particularly has his eye on Maximus.
Yeah, yeah,
And because if you're going to tell me that it's simply because he happened to arrive right after Maximus had beaten the crap out of, well, killed the other guy,
mm-hmm.
I mean, so what? You know, I would have liked a little bit better breadcrumbs leading up to that. But at any rate, they decide to go on a helicopter ride. I'm actually not sure where. Like where the initial goal was. I think he was just trying to take him up for, hey, hop in the car, we're gonna talk. Actually, so even though I don't care for Xander Harkness, I actually quite like this scene.
It was a good scene.
I can't remember exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah, Harkness was highlighting like, hey, this is how things are run in the Commonwealth. You guys are
Yeah,
running this way here. Like us grunts have it all, like us soldiers have it a lot better in the Commonwealth, where there's
yeah.
less of these nerdy clerics running things.
It was also interesting too with Maximus. He felt like it seemed like in that moment,
Not quite a kindred spirit, if that's what you're going for.
but adjacent to that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's still definitely the power dynamic of I'm the leader, you're the soldier,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, something adjacent to kindred spirit.
Yeah.
Where does it go from there?
It does jump back
The
and forth a
ghoul,
bit with the ghoul and
yeah, goes
yeah.
back to the ghoul, and he's suddenly at the Legion camp, or at least outside the Legion camp, and he's kind of looking on like, okay. He's talking to the dog. He's like, all right, well, we need a plan. I think we need to go get the NCR to help us out. So they go to
I
immediately
do I
cuts.
do wanna I
Oh,
do wanna jump in here. Just a quick thing. The opening of that scene where he's looking through his telescope at her and Goggins' line delivery. Well, Miss Lucy. Just ooh, like the condescension and the twang. Just he does it
golden
so
rule,
well.
mother trucker.
Yep, like oh.
So he goes from the Legion camp to the NCR camp golf or golf camp.
Mhm.
Camp Golf? Well, that's the name of the location. I looked it up because I've committed a lot of war crimes at that place too against the NCR. There's so many people to XP farm. What can I say? And it's empty because, of course, I killed them all, is what I told Ashley. And so he's searching for everybody. He doesn't see anything, no signs of violence or whatever. Then he goes into the big, the big lodge area, and then he finds Vincent, who's one
Oh,
of
was
the
it Vincent or Victor, the robot? I'm trying to
Victor,
remember.
excuse me,
Victor.
Victor. And it's been a while since I've played New Vegas. Is Victor the one that drags you, like rescues you at the very
I'm pretty
beginning?
sure. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I keep on forgetting his name because I'm just kind of like I'm kind of doing a playthrough where I'm like I don't care about him.
Yeah, I mean, I hated him the first time I played it, and then he really kind of grew on me. So he's there, he's kind of glitching out a little bit, and then lets the ghoul know, there's some NCR Rangers off in the hills, implying not that far away. And he goes, "Why, thank you very much." Then he leaves.
Victor looked amazing, like that prop.
Oh yes, yes,
And
looked
now
great.
I'm pretty sure that's another practical one. Like the amount of
It
practical,
absolutely was.
the amount of practical props in this show. It's so refreshing to see.
Yeah, I love it. I love just how much attention to detail and how many practical
Hmm.
effects they use, and they
Hmm.
use it effectively
Hmm.
for the most part. There was something at the end of the episode where it was not used well, but we'll get there. I guess okay. So when he does find the NCR, that's actually a couple of scenes down the road.
Right,
Um,
right.
so
There's
right
a lot of
now it
jumping
goes to
around.
the Brotherhood, and Xander is talking about the relic that Quintus had found.
Yeah,
The relic that helps develop the oh frick's sake, what are they called?
the cold fusion,
Thank you, cold fusion.
which they got from Moldaver at the end of season one.
I need to have that. We could do so much. If the Commonwealth falls, everything falls, blah 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 blah. Okay, then it gets back. Now this is where the ghoul meets with the Rangers.
Hmm.
I have a massive problem with this.
Go for it.
Okay. Do you know where Camp Golf is located?
No, no, I don't.
Pretty close. If I remember correctly, it's quite a distance away from Prim.
Okay.
Quite a distance away from Prim.
Hmm.
Not quite like top right of the map,
Okay.
but pretty far. And when he meets with the NCR Rangers, you see Prim in the background. Those two locations are very, very far away. So either the Ghoul is doing some Game of Thrones season 8 teleporting, or the show's just not doing an effective way of passage of time.
Right.
So it could be that. But that bothered me because it was just, oh, he's bloop, bloop, bloop. So
He used fast travel.
you know what? If it turned out that that was actually their reasoning behind it, and that's just literally it, I'd high five them. And then he finds, I guess he meets with the Rangers. I really wish the Rangers were more interesting. They were kind of bland, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. There was an interesting conversation that the Ghoul has with them about because they're like, we've been cut off by Caesar's legions. We can't we can't move from here. We're trapped. We're waiting for reinforcements. And the Ghoul's like, well, get used to waiting, basically.
What,
Um,
what bugged me is when they were talking about the waiting is it's implied that they've been waiting for like 5, 10 years.
20 years.
And I'm like, that's a long time. I'm having this press X to doubt. Like there's this is my one of my problems with the whole Shady Sands gets destroyed. Suddenly the NCR's capital is gone, and suddenly the NCR is like just collapsing. And through like I haven't done a whole lot of lore digging in on the NCR, but the vibe I got from New Vegas is that the NCR, for lack of a better term, is a country, is a government.
Yep.
And okay, you destroy the capital. Okay, maybe their leaders are there, but it's not going to collapse an entire country. There's a lot of infrastructure. Like, yes, I know this is post-apocalyptic and everything, but the vibe I'm getting through New Vegas and everything with how they set up the NCR, it makes it sound like there is a lot of organization here, and
Yep.
you're not going to take the whole thing down by destroying its capital and killing a bunch of high up leaders.
Like Shady Sands, you mean?
Yeah, I'm
That
hoping.
could be the case. Yeah.
Like I hope they give us a bit more to explain like why. Unless I'm forgetting something that was given in the first season, but I'd like them to give like just okay, why is the NCR suddenly a shrivel up corpse?
Yeah, I mean, they do allude to the Legion constantly harassing and killing them.
They have a lot of territory.
It feels like there's not necessarily something missing. It would be nice to have a little bit more of that filled in
Mm-hmm.
because the NCR is such a huge part of New Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
and the East Coast.
yeah,
Sorry, West Coast.
exactly.
Brain. West Coast. My bad.
West Coast. He does have a funny line though, when he like, you should stop calling yourselves the New California Republic. Just call yourself the California Republic because you looking dusty as hell.
That was a good line.
It was good.
He has like all the best lines.
They end up having some of the antidote that he needs in order to not become a rabid ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
And she offers it, one of the NCR Rangers, she offers it to him, asking for his help in, I guess, against, I guess, a holdout of legionnaires nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he just kind of takes the antidotes and, well, thank you very much, but I'm going to go my own way, kind of a thing.
Yep.
And then he walks off, and he ends up dropping one of them too.
I noticed that too.
You know,
I
okay,
noticed it
you
too.
notice that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. He for something that he desperately needs, he sure doesn't treat them with a lot of care. I noticed this in season 1 when there's that manufacturing plant like
Mm-hmm.
that doubles as an organ harvesting place. He was dropping them all over the place, and well, he returns to the Legionnaire camp and basically bargains for Lucy's freedom, and I guess plants a bomb while he's there
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because he takes Lucy out, and then he says, "Well, I might have made a mistake, but here we go." And then big explosion. It looked like it was Kaisar's tent. That starts a big firefight between the two Legionnaire camps. You just kind of see muzzle flash,
Yeah.
and well, time to go.
And the shots
Yeah.
were also interspersed with shots while he's getting Lucy out of there and everything. His time at the that veterans celebration and everything. You know, I think it was a nice little reflection of
It
here where
was.
he's like not sure of like am I doing the right thing or not. Yeah, I was trying not to analyze the writers and of them being like, oh, are you now gonna have like all everyone in the military is like, oh, America was kind of bad. We shouldn't have been fighting the commies. I was probably reading too much into it. It just came,
Probably a little bit.
part of it came across as, are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't. I know I said I'm desensitized earlier, but I'm usually pretty sensitive to stuff like that. But I didn't pick up on that. I've heard lots of soldiers talking about wars that we objectively know were needed to be fought,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't always have what you'd expect them to say. That doesn't change the objective fact about the need for that war
Mm-hmm.
and the need that we had for brave soldiers like that. What it reflected was something that I think is quite reflected both in Canada and in the States, that veterans are not treated with the recognition and
Mm-hmm.
support that they absolutely should have.
Yes.
That's one thing I don't. I usually hate it when people will insert present social issues into fiction, but this one's sort of timeless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Just sweeping soldiers under the rug once they're no longer, you know, useful.
Mm-hmm. As soon as you brought that up, made me think of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And have you ever played the Metal Gear Solid?
I played the Phantom Pain. I have played
Okay.
the absolute snot out of that game.
Okay. Oh, I could go on. Like I'm yeah.
I love the Phantom Pain.
There is the addressing the whole issue of soldiers being disposable
Yeah.
throughout. It's tied throughout the franchise. I could go. That's another episode of me just gushing about Metal Gear Solid. I love that franchise,
You've played the Phantom Pain?
baby. I played Metal Gear Solid. I played Metal Gear Solid 2. I played 3. I played 4. I played Peace Walker. I played Portable Ops. I
Oh
still haven't
God.
played Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, but I pretty much played all of them. I love Metal
Did,
Gear Solid.
did you play the remakes?
I have not played the remakes. I do not possess a console for
Fair enough.
playing the remake Delta. Yeah, I haven't played
You
it.
don't have a PC for it either?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
might
okay.
I might play it a bit eventually, but no, to do that I love myself some Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, it's fun.
Big fan. Oh yeah, like oh no, big fan. Like I've got like this huge sorry audience. I've got like a big art. I've got like a couple big art books. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. Like
Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough.
you know
Yeah, I
the, the,
freaking
the only reason I don't
yeah.
have more paraphernalia is I got married.
Yeah, you have to make space. Got to make space for other stuff.
Yep, and it's money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we get to the final scene,
Mm-hmm.
which I actually really liked where this went. In
Yeah.
retrospect, it was predictable, but
Yes.
I actually did not see it coming, and I saw it. I saw it. What ends up happening? I did see coming, obviously, as it was being broadcasted,
Mm-hmm.
but all the way leading up to it, I felt like I should have picked up on this from the very beginning.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
they're in their helicopter. Oh, sorry, Xander Harkness and Maximus in their helicopter. Their sensors pick up on Securitrons, right? They got
Mm-hmm.
to go destroy more robots, and they happen to go to the facility, which was at the very beginning of the episode, where the Sarsaparilla was being either manufactured or whatever was going on with that. and they're killing some robots. Oh, right. So I was talking about earlier how, for the most part, this show has great practical, like the practical effects are great, they're awesome and
Hmm.
everything.
Hmm.
And the way that they do the fight scenes with the Brotherhood of Steel suits,
Hmm.
very cool. There's a fight that happens between a Securitron and Harkness in his big suit thing,
Hmm.
and it was some of the worst choreography I've seen in this show. Actually, it was the worst choreography I've seen in this show, fight choreography, and it was probably one of the worst that I've seen in recent memory. It was awful. Like, they were doing all these quick camera cuts and whatever to keep up the intensity, and really it was just two awkward metal things uh trying to look like they were swinging at each other.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was painful to watch. So when the that thing died, I was like, thank God that's over. Um, you know, I thought it was painful. I thought it was,
I was
I don't know.
indifferent. I didn't care that much. I would agree. It did come across as they were trying to make it more epic than it actually was. But yeah, I was like, whatever. I
Yeah,
put it this way, I didn't dislike it as much as you did.
that's fair. I do know that they were, for the most part, the combat with the suits, is usually them shooting things.
Hmm.
But here they needed to introduce his melee weapon. So he's got the hammer. I can't remember what it's called in the video game. I love the hammer, but it has like a little jet at one end, so that way you get extra force when you're killing somebody with it. It's a great little weapon. um, and yeah, so anyway, they destroy the Securitron, and then they come across all these ghoul kids
Hmm.
in the same room that we met them at the beginning of the episode.
Hmm.
And Harkness is playing all nice. Oh yeah, just come on out. We're not gonna hurt you. We're not gonna hurt you at all. Just come on out. And so all the kids come on out, both the ghoul kids and the smoothies. And he goes, all right. So everybody who has smooth skin, can you go stand over here, out of the way? And Maximus is picking up on what's going on. And all right, kid, now close your eyes for this next part. Then Maximus is like, stop, stop, stop.
And the only way he sees to stop the situation, because he's holding the hammer, is to bring it down on Xander's head. And that's when he says, "I think I've started a war." Oh.
And then the episode ends. So I'm very much looking forward to watching the next episode. Well, thanks, man. It's
Hey,
been fun. It's been a
this has
blast.
been enjoyable. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. You can find more from Sir Nick by searching Great Tradition on YouTube. You can also find me there by searching Classy Chappy. If we name dropped anyone during the show, be sure to check them out and leave them a comment saying that Classy Chappy sent you. The intro music was by Kevin MacLeod, Incomtech.com, used under Creative Commons 4.0. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.